Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today I actually wanted to make a little video on what the feminine energy can actually expect when it's getting closer for union, what that looks and feels like in terms of the masculine energy coming back in for union and for possibly a conversation, what to kind of pay attention to, what might be false traps. And so this video is kind of dedicated to helping you with that. Now, before I actually go into the signs of what you can experience on this journey, I want to make it clear that this video is really for those experienced twin flames that have actually been on the journey for some time. The feminine energy that's actually been doing the inner work can expect to see these changes and therefore be expecting union. If you are new to the journey and have not begun doing your inner work, this is not going to resonate with you the same way. Because technically the masculine energy and the feminine energy keep magnetizing each other back in multiple times on this journey. So please don't confuse, the masculine energy coming in as being that moment when you're ready for union. That happens several times on this journey before you actually really come into union for a final union. So this video is really for those doing the inner work, doing their regular meditation, and then seeing those profound changes that can result in your twin flame union. Now, remember that when you are doing your meditation on the twin flame journey, there are times where you will experience, good days and bad days. And what I mean by that is, this is not a smooth journey on your way to the higher states of consciousness. Through Kundalini, you get to experience some of the really dark days when you're down in the dumps. And so, reaching that state of oneness within is very similar. And the reason for that is because consciousness is really a two-way ladder. If you are not releasing and letting go of those negative old emotions and traumas, you cannot move up that ladder. Similarly, you can be climbing up the ladder, but then if you start to give your energy to negative experiences, negative interactions, the information that you surround yourself with, you can again go down that ladder of being in a lower vibration. So that is why we say let go of things, release them, be careful of what you're feeding yourself in terms of the energy that you're consuming based on the information you're exposing yourself to, because that will help you raise your vibration. And so as you move up to higher states of consciousness on this journey, you will experience a lot of the up and down. And basically what's happening is you are trying to anchor in those newer vibrations that you have not yet experienced. And so that's not something that happens immediately. It takes time. You toggle between feeling the bad and then feeling the good, feeling the bad and then feeling the good, until you can finally anchor yourself there. And then, that is something you basically stabilize yourself in feeling regularly. Now, on the twin flame journey, your goal is unity consciousness. And that is something that you eventually get to in meditation. As you show up daily for a daily practice of meditation, you'll get better and better at, reaching those higher states of consciousness, and then eventually getting to that unitive state of consciousness, or unity consciousness, or state of oneness. There's so many ways that we talk about it, but it's really that experience where you start to see the interconnectedness of everything, basically being able to identify that, we have and are currently experiencing in your 3D that illusion of separation, but really ultimately we come from that same source. And what is really happening here is the first time you actually experience the state of oneness, it will come and go. The first time you experience this in meditation, it might only last a few seconds, but as great as that feels, that peaceful as that feels, it will kind of go away. same as everything else you've experienced on this journey, you are not yet ready to anchor in that into that vibration, and therefore it's a fleeting sort of a feeling that you experience. It comes and goes. What you may see though as this happens is, as you experience that, and sometimes even for a few seconds, you will immediately see your twin actually contact you. Now, what's very, very important for you to remember when you experience this is you are not yet strong enough to anchor in that vibration, and your thought process should at no point in time be, oh my God, they're back. You may feel like that, and what you want to avoid is starting to chase your twin flame again, because that is the whole thing that you've kind of been escaping, and making sure that you're not moving in that direction. Because really what's happening here is you are toggling between that space of duality and actually going towards that state of oneness. So you're not yet ready to be in the state of vibration of that and that state of oneness. And so you're moving back between duality and state of oneness. What you want to make sure is you have, a sense of control of yourself, and you stay and remain absolutely calm and composed as you experience this. When you know that this is going to be a fleeting sort of an experience, you'll understand why your masculine energy or your divine counterpart is coming and going. But you need to make sure that you are not chasing them again, because that is what you are trying to escape. And that way you can kind of still continue to move and progress towards that state of oneness. What you want to be doing here is just keep with your practice. Do not pay too much attention to them coming and going. And really, as you get even stronger in your meditation, that state of oneness will be anchored in, and it'll be something that stays with you. And it's, that moment of presence that you'll be able to bring back with you even when your meditation is done. So, when you're in a wakeful state, you will still be able to, experience that state of oneness. That's where you really want to get to. And that's when it will be the right time for you to come into union with your divine counterpart. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this was helpful. God bless.